Hello, this is Anna Isaac. I come to you from the News Minutes newsroom. There's been a lot of anger against PETA, the animal rights group. I'm joined by Poorva, who is the CEO of PETA. Poorva, you've seen the protests out in Tamil Nadu. There's been a lot of anger directed at your organization. What do you have to say about these protests that we're witnessing right now?
I would say that any anger or upset directed at our organization is going to have no effect whatsoever on the laws which have banned, under which Jallikattu, bull races, and bullfights and other uses of bulls and performances are banned. Because PETA is not a lawmaking body, we are just a law-abiding body. All we can do as an NGO is work to ensure that India's animal protection laws are upheld. And that's the kind of work we do. Also, I want to point out that the ban on the use of bulls and performances has been in place since 2011. The Supreme Court confirmed that ban in 2014, where it also acknowledged that Jallikattu and other such spectacles are illegal under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. So these current forms of cruelty have been illegal for many, many years. And so right now these protests are coming at a time when Tamil Nadu is suffering from a severe drought where 144 farmers have committed suicide as a result of the drought, and that's leading to many people asking, where are the protesters' priorities? It's not only Jallikattu which is banned. It is cockfighting, dogfighting, the use of different species of animals for circuses and for film. It's hunting of animals. It's the sacrifice of animals on the street. All of these different types of cruelties are also illegal. And so, it is high time that we took the animal's point of view into consideration. The animal doesn't want to be, the bull doesn't want to be chased or taunted or made to slip and fall to the point that he breaks his bones or dies. In the recent Jallikattu events that have been held, there's been two bulls who died recently, numerous human beings who have died. I mean, it is our duty under the Constitution of our country to have...
Poorva, if I can just interrupt, what about a restricted Jallikattu, keeping in mind the sentiments of the people? Is that something you're willing to, consider, a restricted Jallikattu where you will perhaps, screen every bull that comes before it goes on the run?
That already happened in 2009. From 2009 to 2014, Jallikattu was conducted under different rules and regulations which have been put in place by the Tamil Nadu government. The Animal Welfare Board of India authorized inspectors went to Jallikattu after Jallikattu after Jallikattu and found that the cruelty to animals is inherent in the spectacle, because the whole point of it is to deliberately terrify a bull to the point that he panics and runs, and that's what ends up causing a great deal of the misery and the human injuries and the human deaths. But it is not, we can't just call something culture and get away with it. There's numerous types of cruelties and abuses that we once considered culture, but we now consider a crime, like child marriage, like harassment for dowry, like I mean, we don't consider these cruelties that once used to be part of culture anymore. And we have to extend that same type of respect to animals. Our culture is actually one of kindness. That is what is mandated under the Constitution of our country.
Poorva, if I can just interrupt you.
We want to have compassion for animals.
Yeah, if I can just interrupt you once again. Do you believe there's one feeling that, PETA's radical stance on this issue, has extreme position rather on this issue, has sort of radicalized this situation? We've never witnessed protests like this in the past.
It's because we're a soft target, because it's much harder to target the law. PETA hasn't banned. PETA has no authority to ban Jallikattu. Jallikattu is banned, like bullfighting, like bull races, under Indian law. Indian law which has been in place for many, many years. So all PETA can do is work as part of our duty as an animal protection organization to make sure animal protection laws are upheld. And it's not only PETA that has gone to court anyway. The government body, Animal Welfare Board of India, went to court. FIAPO, which is a network of animal protection organizations all across the country, went to court. CUPA went to court. Numerous individuals went to court. So this focus on PETA as as much of a kind of honor, I suppose, that as it is that we're getting all of this credit, the credit is not really due to us.
Also there's a lot of talk now about an amendment to the PCA Act. There's talk about ordinance being passed by the centre perhaps. Is this something that you will continue to fight out in the Supreme Court?
Of course, we can't have a government, we can't have the weakening of our animal protection laws. Our animal protection laws are very basic as it is. When the whole world is moving away from cruelty to animals, you have bullfighting, which is illegal in most countries. We have numerous countries which have banned the use of animals in circuses, or have banned the use of at least wild animals in circuses. The whole world is moving toward kindness to animals. It would be a black mark on our nation to move backwards, especially since India has been an inspiration for countries around the world to be kinder to animals.
So there's another, argument that why is PETA targeting Jallikattu in particular? There are other animal sports as well. There is a Trishulpuram, which sees a large number of elephants. So why is PETA singularly targeting Jallikattu? Is a feeling that a number of Tamilians have.
Well, that's because they haven't Googled. They haven't gone to our website. All they need to do is go to PETAindia.com. All they need to do is sign up for our e-news, and they would figure out that our work on the protecting these bulls is probably about 1% of our work. We have inspected the elephant at Trishulpuram. We've been in Kerala High Court over that issue. We're actually in court over a number of issues. We're at the National Green Tribunal over Manja. We're at different high courts over the use of animals in circuses. We've been in the Bombay High Court over the use of horses being made to haul carriages. We've been in the Chennai High Court over the use of cruelty to dogs during breeding. We have managed to stop the use of animals for experiments in a number of different places, including recently stopping a very, very cruel test on rabbits that was taking place with chemicals being dripped into their eyes and on their skin. I mean, the work we do, we have been serving animals in this country for 17 years. Our work goes all the way back to that. And as an animal protection organization, it is our duty to work to uphold Indian law. And that is exactly what we're doing here and what we've been doing in all of the different court cases I just mentioned. We're also in the Supreme Court, by the way, over the illegal treatment of animals during transport and slaughter.
So this is also being played out as, a culture versus animal rights debate, given that Jallikattu is, a centuries-old traditional sport. So, it's hurt Tamil pride is how, how protesters are saying. So what do you have to say about this?
Cruelty is cruelty. Cruelty is not culture. If we want to look at what our culture is as a nation, we only have to look to our Constitution. Article 51AG of the Constitution of India makes it the mandate of every single Indian citizen to have kindness for animals. Our culture is to be law-abiding. Our culture to respect and support the Supreme Court. Those are the kinds of things which are our culture. And once again, if somebody else is being hurt, then we need to actually consider that for what it actually is. And in this case, it's a crime. It's been considered a crime. It's a crime. And, we can have, there's so much, the Tamil culture is so rich. We don't need to hurt somebody else for culture.
Finally, Poorva, last question. One of the arguments is that this will wipe away the indigenous breed of bulls by banning Jallikattu. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I would invite people to join us in our efforts where we have been working to stop thousands upon thousands of cattle from going across the border from Tamilnadu into Kerala for slaughter, many of them being native bulls. So, and that's happening for the leather industry, and that's happening for the meat industry. The number of bulls that have been used for Jallikattu has been certainly comparatively smaller. So if there's a focus on preserving native bulls, get onto that border. Second thing is, the kinds of cattle which are used in India are predominantly chosen by the dairy industry. And so other states have different initiatives where they encourage the dairy industry to use native cattle, where they have different scientific mechanisms to preserve the germplasm of not only in the DNA, not only of native cattle, but native goats and sheep and other native animals. So the ban on the use of animals in performances is only on that. It is not on, you're not prevented from preserving native cattle, and we don't have to hurt them to preserve them.
All right, thank you so much for speaking with us, Poorva. So there you have it. Poorva of PETA was speaking to the News Minute. Do stay tuned for more updates from us.